Hugo. Hey, dude.
Hi, Jeremy. I've had a turbulent month or two, so sorry I haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see
Yeah, good to see you. You have a different background this time.
you. Yes.
All right, we'll talk
For
later.
another time.
And Sam, welcome.
Oh, hi, Jamie.
We're all here. Great. Let's see who else. Oh, Don. Hopefully, will come soon. Anyway, yeah, good to see you all. So let's see here. I don't know. I've got stuff to talk about. I'm interested in what you're doing, what you're talking about, thinking about. Mark, what have you been up to? I know what the other two are doing. What have you been up to with the JavaScript stuff? Anything?
Nothing yet. I haven't been able to touch it. I'm going through another course right now.
Oh, okay.
For about that I only paid like $50 for it, just to start learning the basics of it, and kind of it was cheap, so I'm trying it out. So if it didn't work out, it was only $50 lost. So
Yep.
So I'm gonna try that. So I want to go through your courses, but unfortunately, I and my company can't afford it right now. So
Okay. I do have a little bit of a discount here, but yeah, it's and mine is much more hands-on and it's live and it's
yeah, that's what I kind of like. And that's
yeah.
what this one is it's live, 2 days a week, but it's only $50. So I thought
Yeah.
I'd try it out and see first.
Yeah. Well, that's
Teaches
good.
the basics, so that's good.
That's good. And Bill, welcome.
Good morning. Hang on. Yeah, I'm here. Okay. Good morning, all.
Good morning. What are you up to with JavaScript?
I am a fly on the wall today. I'm still
Bill. All right.
Just barely trying to figure it all out. But I do have another guy who's starting to work with us, and he's more JavaScript friendly. So I'm gonna try and get him involved in all this, and wanted to watch and see if I learned something I can pass along.
Yeah. Great. Well, I'll just kind of reiterate talk a little bit about what we did last week. Orlando, have you, last week we worked with we talked about React a little bit. Have you had a chance to look at anything in that realm at all?
No, not since last week. I've been working on some other JavaScript stuff all week.
Ooh.
So
Do you want to share?
Yeah.
Do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I could do. Yeah, no, I can do quickly. I was gonna wait for the show and tell, but if you want to have a quick,
I still haven't figured out the format of these. Almost a year in, I don't know if I should do show and tell every time or what. So yeah, we'll just do it here. Yeah.
I've got most of this finished, so I've got a client testing it at the moment. But can you see my screen all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm using Sync Fusion, a number of Sync Fusion libraries.
What is Sync Fusion, by the way? Is it a?
It's just a collection of libraries that I think I've mentioned them before.
You have, but I wasn't sure. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they've got all of these different components. They're all in JavaScript, and they have actually got some React stuff in here as well. So if I can get into that, then that might be easier. But yeah, they've just got hundreds of components. And I think they have a community license, which is free if your company earns less than $3 million a year, which I'm way underneath that. So it's fine.
Oh, no, I'm not at all. It wouldn't work for me.
But yeah, no, they've got loads of stuff, and it's all very customizable. So I've used their list picker, list view to create these, and then a splitter to then multiply it, because the client wants to have a multi-dimensional selection based on the type of company. So it could be infinite numbers wide, infinite numbers down. So this was the best way I think to do it. So we've got all of these for them to select. And I'm just working on an issue. I think I've just fixed an issue where it will select the parent, the gray one above, but then it was selecting when you unselect it. So I think I've just fixed that, which is great. And then so that's the edit mode. And then when they're viewing it in the company record, they see just a table view of all the selections, and then they can have as many of these profiles. So they'll then have them grouped so they can see the list of profiles. I've just got one set up on this record, but and then this updates based on the list picker. So yeah, no, that's
really great.
It's been fun to do, and just I've got pages of JavaScripts, different bits of the manipulating data stuff that we did, putting it all in from FileMaker and creating this and pre-selecting it if they've selected it already, and graying it out if they're not allowed to touch that column. So yeah, no, it's been good fun, but just meant I haven't done anything else for the last week.
Okay.
Just trying to get this working. But yeah, the client's very impressed with it, so I'm happy. And they're happy. So yeah.
Have you interesting. Have you oh, that's why. Have you you just started like working with this in the last year or so, right? Or have you been doing JavaScript for a little bit longer than I've known you?
I've been using JavaScript so I attended your session at DevCon in 2019.
Okay.
Or the day training beforehand.
Yep.
And it was a case of what I was doing before was just this kind of thing where it was all in text boxes. I'm just trying to find it now there. So yes, I was doing all of this before, and it was a case of copying stuff but not really customizing it to get it to work. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So since these so I did your course and these office hours, I've been able to actually pull libraries apart and manipulate the data to get it in there. So whereas previously it was just substituting. Yeah, so that's my old list file. And I was never very good at it because I could never get everything to work. So yeah, no, I've only been doing this seriously since you've been starting this, and more so since I did the course.
That's great. That's good. I've worked hard for this. I worked hard to try to get it spread out, and this is beautiful. I think, it's a good example of persisting through and working through it really pays off.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's really cool. Glad to see that. Very cool. Well, I'm gonna look at that. What's this one called? What's this picker library called?
This is, let's find so this is the list view.
Okay.
Checklist.
Checklist.
So that's what it is. That's what it is out of the box.
Okay.
And then I've used their splitter, and then I'm looping through and creating one per heading. So it's multiplying based on the headings that they've selected.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've used their version of data table for the grid view.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I've had to do a lot. I couldn't work out how to convert the data from being in that format to this format. So I've done that in FileMaker because I could work it out. But yeah, no, it's yeah, they've just got so much stuff in here. It's crazy.
I have a question for Orlando. Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I was just curious. You may have answered this, and I kind of been sidetracked on a little bit of work here. But what exactly is this? What does it do?
So this is the need for this picker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the client of mine, they're they analyze businesses. So they're a mergers and acquisitions company.
Okay.
And they want to set up these templates. So the whole picker itself is a template without any
Okay.
selections. That's their template. They want to set up the templates per industry, and they could be anything from 2 or 3 columns to 10 plus. And then they just want to go in there and they want to go, okay, yeah, this company, this is for food companies. They want to go in and say, yeah, they do chicken and dairy. And then the next part of the project is to match these companies together. So if 2 companies have got a number of these selected on each side, then it will put them together so that they get a report saying these 2 companies are similar.
Okay.
Or this company is looking for these type of products to purchase the company, and then it will produce a report because it's going to do some matching in the background based on all these criteria to say that this is a good match, this is a reasonable match, etc. So that's the next part I'm doing. I'll try and work out how to do in JavaScript. But yeah, so ultimately it's about analyzing companies and then providing matches between them based on the info.
That's great. You could, I think I might have missed it, but you're doing a search from this, right? So, or
I'm working that at the moment. It's going to do a, it's going to do a search. So yeah, they can do a standard FileMaker search, which I'm just going to search on the JSON block based on the IDs. So it's just a standard FileMaker search, which works quite well. But then there's this complex matching process, which I'm thinking of using JSONada for, which is complex querying. It's just it's kind of out of the box stuff. So you pass in simple parameters and it will find it for you. So I'm working on that at the moment. So hopefully I'll have that to demo soon.
Right. This is interesting. I built a search for someone too, and I could show it. I actually use React. I kind of showed it last week, but what's cool about this is you could eventually turn this into, I was thinking about this. How could you turn this into like an execute data API query where all of this, I assume the ingredients list is in the ingredients field. Those are all the options in that fields.
Yeah, so it's all yeah, so the headings and the ingredients are records in FileMaker, but as I'm selecting it, it's storing all of that, the selections in JSON.
Okay.
In just a single block in FileMaker. So actually, this was my early attempt a few years ago using just FileMaker. And then they said they wanted more than 5, so I gave up.
Yeah.
But that's the newer version.
And now this is dynamic, right? You can
Yeah,
add
absolutely.
as many as you want.
Yes, yeah.
Does this go and get the data, the options from FileMaker on the fly? Or
yes, yes. Let me try it. This might break, but let's give it a go. It definitely works in the live version, but yeah, if I add a heading and I haven't got that on the layout, obviously. Damn it, foiled by the fact that I haven't set up the IDs properly. But oh, the pressure of demoing live.
I think it was the ID field. Yeah.
You do this every week. How do you do it?
No pressure.
Just mess up that. So that's the dimension. That's the center. New option. So hopefully, if I now come back here, run that, fingers crossed. Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful. That's great.
Obviously, they've got a nice interface in the client file to build those, but yeah, they can just add it and it'll appear on there. And yeah, there's a sector ID in there. So they can have, so a company is assigned to a sector, so this will then show a dynamic grid based on the sector that the company operates in. Oh, and then I think I've got, yes, I've got updating based on the type. So it's either a profile or a shopping list, and they can toggle between them. So yeah, I've also got that toggling as well. So that's quite. Yeah, every time I finish something, I then thought of something else to do. So
Right.
it just kind of grow.
Yep. Very nice. Beautiful.
Okay.
Cool. And Sam, you've been working on some React stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Like, so we'll get to that. I want you to show your templates that you told me about, but we'll kind of start by recapping that. So last week I'll share my screen and then we'll get into it. But last week the last week's session was about working with React, trying to get it to work in the development environment, and everything that React can do, trying to get it to work in here. And what I had worked on was, let's see if that works. There we go. Mostly. So this is a picker that I built for someone that I'm trying to get to work, and it allows me to. This is kind of what React is really good about doing. I don't know how I would do this in plain old JavaScript necessarily, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. I've got two column sections. I'm using pictures. I'm doing a little bit of a scaling there. And based on the selection that I choose over here, we have different options that show up in the main section. We do have an advanced or a simple version of this where it's just the main product types. And the idea is that they would click on it and we could search for that product. And I broke it nicely. But the idea is that I can use this to develop a search here, develop a search from just a quick selection. And the whole idea of this for my client was that they want this to be as easy as possible to do a search, to find different products and so highlight them and then do a search on whatever they've chosen here. So this is a great use case for React, and I put it into my environment, and that's what I worked through last week. Last week in the morning, I was kind of stumbling through it a little bit. The afternoon, I actually was able to work through a template, kind of set up an area, and I'll show that quick. And then I know Sam took the idea and kind of did the same thing. So I'd love to see what Sam built. But this is my React template, my version of it. It looks like this. Started up here. And I think I was just kind of like shooting from the hip yesterday. But the whole idea of this was I can click on a button here and it updates a part of the DOM with some information of what I clicked on. This is okay to do in regular JavaScript, but React makes it a lot easier. The data is coming from here. So, just like what Orlando had, if I add another color, then that just automatically gets added to this because I'm passing data in. And now I can go and do a lot of stuff with this. So this is kind of the purpose of React, one of the purposes is to manipulate the UI, manipulate the UI in various ways. The way that I did this is I built a button component that takes some information into it. So I know if you're familiar with JavaScript, JavaScript functions have parameters. A React component has props, has properties, and we can pass it into the component. The component can take it and extract out those properties that I sent in, and then build one button in this case for each of the items in that data set. So the data set comes from FileMaker, and this will map over the choices that are brought in from FileMaker and build one button. So I could build this, and then I could go to the button and I could say, let's see, I could do, well, then I could start to style it. Maybe I could say, I'm trying to think if I could do this, class name equals red. So I give it that property, and then I can go into my style and say dot red, and it would do that. And then hopefully, I'm not sure if this will work, but we'll see. Yeah, there we go. So now I've got, oh, interesting. I've got, why is that pulling up the old data? I've got red buttons that, of course, they're using the wrong data set, which I find incredibly interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Choices, console log. Let's run that. Oh, did I start it? No, I started it. And now I'm getting all sorts of errors. All right, so choices is not coming in suddenly. What did I do? That's interesting that I added one thing and it's not. So it goes and gets the data using the data API script step. It brings in the choices. Yep. There are the choices. All right, so somehow that what I just did, that doesn't like it. Well, let's go back and see what I did, see what I changed that made this break all of a sudden. There we go. Yeah, that's not even the right data. Huh. I am flabbergasted as to what just broke, but it did. So, yeah. Let me think here. There was I remember this. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna put in my dot. I'm gonna put in my color again. So I'm gonna say class name equals red. And I'm gonna go to my style and do dot red. We'll do color white, background. Background color red. There we go. All right. So now I think what I need to do is just rebuild it. So npm start again. Oops, npm start. Bigger. All right. So let's go back to FileMaker. No, I'm still getting a big error. Okay. So anywho, choices. Come on. What's going on? So this is supposed to be my, this is certainly my, what is happening? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna just do this. Boom. Huh. I'm surprised something broke. Can't find any of the data is not coming in. Can't find load app. It's right there. How did I fix this before? Okay, well, something's up here, but the idea is still the same, that I'm actually able to build I'm starting to build a template that shows how this works. And as a JavaScript developer, you need to know a little bit about React to work with this. But it still is a it still is a good framework. So if a FileMaker developer is interested in using React, they can pull this template out and start to use it. I've got it now on I've got it as a template, and it's one that I can start to use. So the fact that it's broken is weird, but I'll get over that. So anyway, that is working with, I think it has to be this. That is working with React. That's what we did last week. And I'm able to now take that, like I showed, and build React apps. Basically, this is a React app. And I'm able to build it and use this for a lot of my development now. I'm not sure if that I might actually start using this all the time now, because a lot of libraries have a React version, which is certainly different than a regular version, but I'll think about that and see. I'm not sure yet if I'm ready to use it, but yeah, so that's what we talked about last week, and I'm interested in pushing this a little bit further. Sam, you did the same thing though, right? Do you want to share yours?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Marty.
I've created a template. Just just after last week, I attend Jamie's his session, and then I try to create a template. But my template is much more simpler than him. So basically, I have a simple app and just load the data, and then just load the data from FileMaker, and then just display the.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, just simple. That's a simple template. And then I just use the window.load app to allow FileMaker to call this function. And then if the data exists, then I will pass the data to the app.js to the component and display the data. So I just use a simple JSON function, maybe a little bit overcomplicated. I'll just send the data in JSON format and do the same thing. Just use the function and and execute the JavaScript function. And I have experienced a similar problem when I try to build this app into HTML file, but I find that sometimes the space is still here. I don't know why. But if I try to build another one more time, the space those spaces are disappear, but then I experience another issue, that the web viewer cannot find the app, and they cannot find the load app and also the data. Just experience some same problem as Jeremy. Yeah. And that's all for my template. If you change for example, hello world, just Learning here. Yeah, it should display the data. Yeah, it's all for my template.
Cool. So you've got a nice template too that people can start to use. Thanks for doing that. It's you and I were thinking the same thing. It takes a little bit of time to understand React, but I'm trying to actually decide if it's something that I want to share with people. I'm not sure that I'm the best person at React yet, but that said, I've actually built quite a few apps with just the bare basics of React. So I'm not sure that I can't do it. I just don't know if I can. So I have to think through that. I got my mind working, by the way. I don't know what the heck happened, but I'm not sure if I if I try again what I was and it might be this, it might be actually here. Let's just do it this way. I'm going to do style equals because I can just do this. I can do color white, background color red. Let's see if this works. That breaks it. Something there breaks it. I don't know. Let me see if that. Nope. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. It's interesting because this is not. There's something going on. I have to figure that out. Obviously, I've got some issues that I need to work through, but here's what I found. One thing that worked is just to build it. Actually, I think there we go. So, oh my gosh, those are pretty ugly. But there we go. So I'm wondering if I should talk through this a little bit. I think I know what the problem is. I think I'm getting a feel for what the problem is. But anyway, so this is React. It's being able to build a user interface, update it in some way, and so forth. So interested. I don't know if this is interesting. I don't know if JavaScript developers for FileMaker really need to know about React right away. I don't know. I certainly is a little bit easier to do it this way because I can create a button. I can create a button in a different file. I can create a button in a different file. I can export it out, and then I can pretty much use it in any app, any file here inside of this repository. Here, I'm just taking all the choices that come from FileMaker and I'm mapping over them one choice at a time. I am taking the the data from each choice and passing it in. And then the button is generating based on that information, that text in this case. So it's interesting to see. This might be fun to play with people and help them learn. It's a little bit more complex, but it's not awful. What I've also been doing actually is doing some, I'll just demonstrate this too. Tailwind. I've been, I think I demonstrated this one time in a thing, in a office hours, but there's a great styling framework called Tailwind CSS. It's got some really nice components that look really nice that I've actually been using in client apps all over the place. So they give you the code to build this, and then you can just change it as you need. So it's pretty awesome that I have this at my fingertips to then customize. But I could take Tailwind and so let me do this quick. I'm going to run through this process. I'll do npm install d Tailwind host. I don't know. I think this is all interesting. I think that it would be fun to lead people through this because I'm actually going through it myself. And you know, I know if I can do it, people can do it. It's really not. It just takes some time if people are willing to put the time into it. It's really not that big of a deal. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm just following the directions here, but I can't really get, all right, so let's do this. Copy this. So Tailwind is a great, it's just got some nice stylings. It allows me to, it allows me to describe how I want the item to look. Got that. And then let's put this into there, into my style. All right, so get rid of that, put that in there. All right, so now I can go in here and I can say this button, I want you to have a style or a class name of let's do text LG. This is all that'll work. This is Tailwind CSS. These are all words to describe how I want my button to look. So if I run this, let's see if it'll work. Go over here. Oops, I need to do that. There we go. So now I'm already on the way of making this look a little bit better. Got some, you know, some issues to work on, but I can style this as I want. I can give it a hover. I did this hover-scale. Let's do 150. So now when I hover over one of these, that's pretty cool. I like that. I could actually do a, what is the transition? There's a transition, all duration, 500. So now when I load it, I get a nice transition. So this is Tailwind at its best, being able to describe it using regular words rather than me having to, I do have to know what PY stands for. I certainly need to know that, but I don't need to actually write CSS because this has already been written inside of Tailwind. And if I use this utility class, they call it, then this Tailwind CSS will generate the CSS that's necessary for this. So this is a lot of fun to be able to actually combine them all together and make a font, make something. Let's do that. Extra thing. There we go. That's what I like. What else could I do? I could actually say, I could say BG gradient, linear gradient, and then I'll do BG, was it from blue 300 to red 500. There we go. Beautiful. So that kind of stuff is a lot of fun. I think it's fun to play with this, and I actually get caught in now. So with this and with Tailwind, the Tailwind components, I can literally build anything. I can build, and I've done this. I can build a table. I can literally build it. I can build a table from scratch using the data that comes in from FileMaker, and I could have a nice display here. And according to in this component, it actually, well, not this one, I guess. Some of these are very responsive and they actually change. They actually do a lot of change. Here, I'll show you one stacked list. Description. They actually change and reorder themselves based on the layout size that they're on. So there's a lot of reorganization of the information for different devices. So I'm using this a lot for clients to be able to, we're building an event management site where event staff can log in and enter their hours and look at their schedule and stuff. And it has to work for all the devices. So this has been fun. So now I'm able to pretty much build anything with FileMaker data and with React and with something like Tailwind. I actually implemented this recently, this calendar, which was really hard to make. I'll show you in a bit, but it's really cool. It's got its beautiful responsiveness going on. The code just took a heck of a long time to figure out because I had to take data from FileMaker and construct it to look like this in order for this to work. I'm literally creating, and because this is January 1st of 2022, I had to know which days were on the calendar before the first of the month and which days should display on the calendar after the first of the month, after the last day of the current month. So this took a while, but now I actually have the skills to do this, and I could create a calendar from scratch for people. It still has clicking, it still has that. It doesn't have any, and then, I could build in functionality to move to different dates and such, but this just gives you the styling. It leaves all the actual JavaScript and the clicking and functionality up to you. But anyway, so I'm playing with this. Sam, have you ever played with Tailwind CSS?
Yeah, I've played a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, it is also you could achieve the dark mode easily if you use this CSS library.
Yeah, I love it. I think that let's see if I can get this to work. So I can set up a grid calls, maybe 3 gap 4. Look at that. Oh my God. It's so much easier to work with this stuff than what I tried to do before. I could say, let's see, is long equals, well, it's a little bit tough, but I could come in here and say call span 2, maybe. Okay, that's interesting. It's not going to work perfectly because I'm telling all of them to span the same amount. But yeah, a lot of fun to play with this stuff, and it handles it all for me, and I don't have to worry about very much. So yeah, that's what's cool. Combining all this stuff together, I think this is like I'm coming to a point where I'm able to culminate a lot of years of studying into something that I could, build a beautiful app for people, or even just a silly widget of layouts, layout names, a button, of navigation system could be done with this, and so forth. So anyway, I get excited about this stuff. I don't know about you, but I do. Yeah, what are thoughts or questions or whatnot? If I can get some. Let's see. Let's do italic and I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here. There we go. And do a PY padding of 4. See if that worked. Oh, I need to do a margin first. Margin Y of 4 first. And then I could do, let's see if I could do text center. I don't know if that'll work. I don't know much about this yet, but oh, there we go. That works. So, I'm on my way to building something interesting for clients. I'm not sure what this really is, but it's just fun to put together. So, oh, there was a chat. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Sam.
It'd really be cool if you can change that yellow bar to the color of the name.
I can 100%. I could. Good point. Let me think here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I can do it. I know I can do it. Good call there. So let's do let's create it. Let's do some
I just love
JavaScript.
watching y'all work in JavaScript. So
Well, this is what's fun. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the yellow color, the hard coded, and I'm gonna put in a little template literal that says, oh, I need to remove the quotes. That says, there we go. I forget, JavaScript to lowercase.
it's the kind of stuff you go over and you do in your class with React and stuff, or is it just vanilla JavaScript?
It's JavaScript, but it's with libraries. So we build all sorts of widgets using libraries. I think you meant sorry. This is nope. Trying to find something that we built. We build this. This is an example of something we build. We take data from FileMaker and we put it into a table. So we learn how to work with JavaScript libraries. I think that's a good start for people, for most FileMaker developers, because you're going to be using this a lot. That's what Orlando was demonstrating at the beginning, is just working with libraries, knowing the procedures for it. It's pretty much all the same. And once you have those down, so I do go over a lot of that in my course. I do have most of it documented as well, and it's if people want to read it or work with me live. But I've got my documentation site that describes a lot of this stuff too. Orlando said that he was using a substitution method a while back, took the course, and is now using this environment to build all of his. By the way, Orlando, we have to talk about commissions or royalties, just FYI. No,
That could be expensive.
I mean, that's why, honestly, that's why my course is what it is, because I give people all the tools that I build for my class. Purple, let's see.
Okay.
2 lowercase, is that what it was? I'm on my way. In some case, actually, that's interesting, because in some cases, why is that not working? Button 2 lowercase, is that right? But by the end, I'll tell you, by the end of my time, you will be able to, you'll be able for sure be able to pick up most any library and work with it. Let's see here. So let's load it. Red, that should work. Oh, I'm getting an error. That could be why. Let's fix that first. Actually, I don't know why that's a problem. Oops, Okay, let's try this again. Boom. Okay, why is that not working? Teal, purple. So we got BG dash. Here, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do, we'll just do this. We'll do const style equals boom. I'll get rid of that. We'll do this. All right, so then I'll do a console log of my style. So now when we reload it, boom. Console log, BG red 300. Yellow. Yellow is the only one that works for some reason. I think I know why. Here, let's do this. I'm just gonna cheat for a sec. What do I want to do here? I know why. It's the reason is because that should work. I use this all the time. It's correct. So could I just put this in? Let me just try this quick. Let me just do this. Style. See what that does. Yeah, only the yellow is working. I know why it's a little bit beyond what it's because, how do I force that? It's because here's the reason. The yellow one, when I did the yellow one, I had hard coded it first. So I wonder if I do this. So my build process actually like generated the CSS for the yellow version of this. But because I took out the yellow, because I'm trying to generate this on the fly, the orange hasn't been generated by the CSS. So I'm trying to think, oh, I know how to do it. I think generate, let's see, Tailwind. I hope this isn't too boring for y'all. On the fly style. There's something I need to do. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to do. I'm going to do const styles equals choices dot map choice. And then we're going to do this BG. I think I need to do is return to that. I need to pre-generate these before I can actually use them. So let's see. I don't know if this is going to work. Console. All right, so the red didn't work. It's somewhere, there's something that I need to do that did not get oh, there it is. Okay, there they are. Okay, so how do I let's see, Tailwind CSS styles in comments. I don't know. There's something that I need to do. Anyway. I'll figure that out, but thanks for that. Thanks for the challenge. That was a good one. I appreciate that. I think it's great. I just need to remember how to. I need to tell Tailwind, hey, I actually need these. I need this CSS generated. So go ahead and generate the CSS, and I'll tell you when I actually need you to use it. So Actually, there's got to be a way. Force Tailwind. I'm gonna try one more thing. Tailwind CSS force. Generate CSS. Just in time mode configuration. No. So let's see here. I don't know. I have to figure it out, but this is a good. You gave me a good thing. So this is it. Do not use strings. That's what I'll do. That's probably what it is. Okay. So let's do this. Hold on. I'm not giving up on this yet. Styles is, let's see, const styles, choices. We need to make an array of array. I don't want to make I want to make an object. Oh, I'll figure it out. I mean, this is how I would do this is kind of a cheating way to do it, but I could say, where is that? Where is that? It is here. Okay, so I could do, so there's that. And then I could
It
say,
seems that it is not recommend.
what?
It is not recommend. I find a Stack Overflow question. Try to dynamically build class name
Yep.
in Tailwind CSS.
BG-red-300. So this is kind of what I would do. So there's the red, purple. It's gonna, the only thing I did is I said, if the button color is red, if the text of the button is red, then use this style. Otherwise, use the blue. So I would have to generate this over and over. I would have to use the same logic over and over to get this to work.
So maybe using a switch statement that passes the button color in there and then
Yep,
turn the
that's it. That
red 300.
Yep, that's what I could do. There's some other things that I could do too. Yeah, that's probably. I'll have to look up in one of my projects. I think I have something along this line. But yeah, that's the basic idea. A switch statement or if statement or whatever. So anyway, that's it for now, I guess. This is fun, and I think, Orlando, I'd love to, and Sam, especially since you've been with me for the longest here, and anybody, I'd love to know if this would be something interesting to put into a course as well as working with React and working with CSS, Tailwind, especially. So you'll have to let me know, but cool. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of energized to do some writing about React, see if I can start putting something together. So yeah, thanks, Bill. I love to wrestle with it. It's always fun to wrestle with it in front of other people. If I were by myself, I would have, sworn a lot and run outside for a little while or go eat something bad for me. So that's how I cope with battling with the code. So. All right.
Maybe React is a little bit advanced topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. It's fun to have you here, Mark and Bill, and always here to continue to learn. And yeah,
I enjoy watching y'all.
it's a lot of fun to be watched. All right, folks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Bye, Orlando.